What is clear is that when women get the loans, the impact on the family and the society can be dramatic.
93% of all our borrowers have all their school-age children in school, which to me is just astonishing. We may have been focusing for the last 20 years on the wrong assumption. I think our assumption is, well, they're going to grow their business and the family gets better and better off and eventually steps out of poverty. I don't think that's an accurate perception of what's happening. The priority of the mother is not growing the business, but growing the child's education. Supporting the child in school becomes her strategy for escaping poverty.
When we were talking about their children, they begin to cry, saying, I don't want my children to go the same way I have gone. So you don't imagine how hard they work in order to achieve a better life for their children, because now they know that there is another way.
We're in patriarchal societies. We're talking about societies where machismo is the rule of the day. And when all of a sudden, a woman is receiving a $50, $70, $100 loan, it makes profound changes in the family.
5 years ago, Sajja Sivanna lived in a thatched hut without walls. She had taken to begging in the streets for money. When she came home late, her husband would scald her fingers in burning oil. For years, she had been making and selling wigs, but her income was erratic, on average less than $1 a day. And when she did have some success, her husband would take the profit and spend it on alcohol and gambling.
నాన్న వాళ్ళు జుట్టుకొని డబ్బులు లేదు వాళ్ళ దగ్గర డబ్బులు తీసుకుంటాం వాళ్ళ రోజు గట్లకి 3 నెలలు 10 రోజులు తీరవాళ్ళు బాకీ అక్కడ తీరడానికి ఇబ్బందులు పడేవాళ్ళం ఆ రోజు ఎంత వచ్చినా వాళ్ళు కట్టి అయ్యి అన్నం తినేవాళ్ళం రాని రోజు వాళ్ళ బాకీ పడిపోయేవాళ్ళం అన్నం కరువుగా ఉండి పస్తులు ఉండేవాళ్ళం మేము గర్భిణితో ఉండా కూడా లేవలేకుండా కూడా నొప్పులు పడతా కూడా బేరానికి వెళ్ళేవాళ్ళం అంతగా ఊళ్ళో దేవుడే ఉండాలి ఊళ్ళో ఎక్కడ చోట పెసరించితే ఇంటికి రాపోతామంటే అని ధైర్యం చేసుకునేవాళ్ళం.
Sivanna took out a loan from Spandana, a new microfinance institution in her city. It was for 4,000 rupees, or about $85. She had learned of a company that purchased women's hair. The company then extracted oil from the follicles and sold it for medicinal purposes. With her first loan, Sivanna purchased trinkets from a local street vendor. She then went into a nearby village and told the children that if they would collect the hair from their mother's brushes and give it to her, she would give them a trinket. The children delivered more hair than she had expected, and Sivanna was in business. She sold the hair for a generous profit and began paying back her loan. Today, Sivanna employs more than 70 women. In the morning, they purchase trinkets from her and go out to the villages to trade the trinkets for hair. For the most part, Sivanna works from her home. The women come to her and she buys the hair from them. The outward improvements in Sivanna's life are obvious, but she seems most proud of other, less apparent changes.
ఇదివరకు మగవాళ్ళతో ఎక్కువ మాట్లాడితే తప్పులు మగవాళ్ళతో ఎక్కువ మాట్లాడేవాళ్ళం కదా అంత దూరం తొలిగి వెళ్ళేవాళ్ళం ఎవరితో మా చుట్టాలైనా ఏరే వాళ్ళతో మగవాళ్ళతో ఎక్కువ మాట్లాడితే ఒప్పుకునేవాళ్ళు కాదు మాట్లాడేవాళ్ళం కాదు ఇప్పుడు అదేం లేదు మాకు భయం లేదు ఏ ధైర్యం వచ్చింది మాకు కూడా భయం లేదు మా ఆయన కూడా ఏంటి ఈ టయానికి వచ్చావు ఏంటి అని ఉండదు మా ఇంటికి లేస్తావా.
Sivanna's most recent loan was for more than $3,000. She bought her husband a motorcycle and hires him to run errands for her. With the success of her business, Sivanna's concerns are different than they were 5 years ago.
అట్లా చదివించుకొని వ్యాపారాలు చేసుకొని ఇప్పుడు ఏమిటో బ్యాగ్ పాయింట్లు అంట బూట్ పాయింట్లు అంట ఒక్కొక్క జేబుకి 5-6 జేబులు అంట మీ పాయింట్కి మళ్ళీ అట్లా ఒక్కొక్కరికి 400-500 500-600 పాయింట్లు వాళ్ళు ఇల్లు కుట్టించుకున్నారంటే ఇప్పుడు కొన్ని ఇస్తున్న వాళ్ళ సర్దాలు భ్రమలు పానీలే మేడంగా మనకు సాయం చేసింది కష్టపడి తీర్చుకుంటున్నాం మనం మన బిడ్డలు ఇప్పుడన్నా అచ్చడి ముచ్చడి చూసుకుందాం అప్పుడు లేదు అని చెప్పి అని చూసుకుంటున్నాం.
It's an unbelievable thing to be able to say if you're a woman with very low skills and low income or low education, to say This business is what I'm going to be able to use to feed my family, and I know I can keep running it because I have access to capital. Think of what that does to the human being.
The women that we lend to on a first loan, sometimes, you know, their head is a bit low. They can't really look at you in the eye. They're kind of shy. They don't really know what to expect. Then you go, 3 years down the road, and these people have been working with these loans, and they've grown their businesses, and these are totally different women. They look you at the eye. They even, when they see you, now it's no longer that shyness, but rather they're starting to negotiate with you, better rates, a larger loan or something, because it has unleashed all this potential that they had within them that because of a lack of opportunity was trapped.